Hey traders, what a great live session that we had today. Wanted to kind of walk you through a little bit about what we did today. We had a great session, pulled out, just closed the day a little bit over 3% on the trading session today. Again, another great opportunity to learn how to find market structure. So I want to kind of preface what I'm about to share with you guys, because even though we ended the day at about 3%, there was just a little bit of competition happening on Discord, and I got my competitive juices flowing. So I'm going to start with that because after the recording, we kind of jumped into I got my competitive juices going. All right, so I ended up done trading at 11.65% on the day. You guys didn't get to see any of that because that was just me trading after the live room was over, and just some traders come calling me out, basically saying, "Where are you at today? Did I beat you?" And it was just a little bit of fun, little banter going back and forth on Discord. So I'm like, all right. So the other thing too is that I was able to catch some of this drop down right here. I was able to catch some of this drop down, and really, I rode it down, got out of this trade, of the trades kind of right in here on the sells. But what I was looking for really is the pullback. So I was waiting for that pullback. So I was in kind of a couple positions. I got in, didn't get in here really. Honestly, this is kind of where I got in, and I got in here with a ride the wave situation, came all the way down, got out right about here, when it crossed over that 50%. And I was looking for, this move right here where it broke above this, right? And so when it broke above this, it felt like it was going to test that. And so I got in right here with the zero take profit. And then I got in here. I stacked into more as I secured my layers here. I stacked into more as this pullback happened. So I stacked into more here, secured my layers here once this broke above, stacked into more when it came here. And this is what I look at, right? 50%. So I look at 50% of this move, kind of like a fib move. I know 50% is not part of the Fibonacci, but I look at that a lot, and I see, okay, how is the chart react, or how does the market react to this move down? And generally, if it breaks above 50% and continues to move higher, you're going to get that 100% retracement. And generally, if it just ignores that 50% and runs up, you tend to get that pretty quick, and you tend to get into a V situation. And so that's what I was looking for, was a V situation. And so I stacked into more trades right here. And exited when we got this pop, right? When it kind of popped up and it stalled right here, I exited out, and that's where I took a lot of my profit. But then I'm like, okay, are we done? And I was like, I'm not really sure right here what direction it's going to go. Sometimes it gets a pullback and you do, I wouldn't look for another, all the way down 100% retracement. It was like, okay, what do we do here? What do we do? And so I wasn't really trading inside of here, just kind of waiting for confirmation. Once I got confirmation and it kind of broke above this, I bought into a position here, wrote it up, and then it started consolidating, and I honestly had to leave. So I put my stop losses. I kind of got in right here, and I put my stop losses right here, and I came back and the market had hit this, and I noticed that. And so I just took the profit from this point to that point. All in all, that's kind of how I rode. The day went from 3 to 11%, just riding this market right here up, riding it down, riding it back up. Just took it for a ride. That's how I ended up capitalizing on today's profits. But I want to kind of talk about before this move happened. Also in the challenge, and I'll talk a little bit about that too, but I wasn't trading my account, so I wasn't even looking at it. But in the challenge account, I called out this move right here on the 5-minute chart, where I was looking at this right here. And I was like, okay, is this going to be an M or a W? Right? And so if you look at our challenge today, it said, is this going to be an M or a W? This move right here, is it going to turn into an M or like this, or is it going to turn into a W and go higher? Now, what we were doing on the challenge is we had it zoomed in like this, so we did not know. But when I looked over at my account, I always leave my 5-minute zoomed out. And so had I had it zoomed out, I would have noticed that this M was forming on a bottom of a head and shoulders move. And so anytime you get a double chart pattern, basically you kind of know what direction it's most likely going to form. And so we got this head and shoulders move. So I would have, had we have had a full big picture, I would have called the head and shoulders, or I would have called this an M and had more of my weight onto that M. So it's a big learning lesson to always be able to have a micro view and a macro view, right? And so here's if you're going to trade, your entries and your exits are on here, but then your setups are over here. And that was the big lesson that we learned today in the challenge. And if you're watching the challenge, I'm going to say the same thing because it's a huge lesson that new traders that we all have to learn. Hopefully we learn that lesson pretty quick, is that we need both views. I did notice it once I looked over, was able to capitalize on it because once I realized that it was going to be an M, I bought in and on my account. So anyways, that's kind of how we got from point A to point B today. Again, another great trading opportunity. I'm not going to be able to trade with you guys tomorrow morning because I got to do that in boot camp, and I think Wednesday might just be our last day this week to trade together. So look forward to trading with you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy the live trading session. Like I said, we had a lot of ups and downs. We wobbled through it. Was able to take back what the market, or not necessarily what the market took from us, but put us into a losing position. But we came back and we were able to capitalize and make some profits off of that. A lot of great opportunity to pull some profits. So there you go, and we will see you guys not tomorrow, but in 2 days. So this trade right now that I'm taking right here says I don't think it's going to touch the top without coming back at least to test this right here. And this candle right there on the stall, that's close enough. I'm going to take that. Now I'm going to flip back in. Now we're going to go for the top. I think I'm going to put a few trades on without take profit, and I probably shouldn't have done that one. It's bad placement. Just take these guys off just in case we do get a pop above that and see the candle action. If it's just going to pop, I'll take it. Like if it pops up and then does a quick pop, then I'll probably take it. But if it slowly breaks it, I'll hold on to it to see if there's a larger move to the top. So kind of like the action of the candle would determine whether or not I take profit. And like if it comes down here, I'll keep adding to this position here quick. All right, so now if this comes down here and crosses this is obviously would work into my plan B in my head, right? So if it comes down and crosses this, then I need to jump into a situation where this would be my break-even area, kind of going back to the challenge that we had a few days ago where I'd run, or this is now my break-even area where I'd stack into some more layers here for it to pull back and break even here. And if it bounces up into there, then I'm profitable. So that's my plan B. Plan A is still for it to come up here and test this and see if we get that full action of the turn, which in order for that to happen, obviously it's going to have to cross and close higher up to here. And that's still my plan A. We traveled. Wow. It's just going to be one of those slow moving days. Slow moving days. So the one thing I will tell you that I'm excited to work on is the different funding accounts. So I know some people have said this in the past, and this is a comment that I've heard from some of you guys, is that I get this question all the time, actually, from people who already have a funded account with Apiary Fund. And they say, well, can I still do the challenge even though I already have a funded, or how does that affect my funded account or whatever? And so coming from that comment has been a narrative that I'd like to kind of push starting next year. And that is, to have multiple funded accounts, right? Not just one. And I think Apiary Fund, since its inception, has always pushed the one funded account. Like you go through Beeline, get a funded account and trade that and increase the money. And that's been its singular message, right? Until recently. And I've actually sat down with Sean and talking about the challenge account, and he has multiple funding accounts. I have multiple funded accounts. And so I'm like, and it's just a principle of good, proper risk management. And so sitting down and talking to him, I'm like, well, why don't we offer multiple funded accounts? And that was kind of the very initial conversation with adding in the challenge. And like this account, this is the 5 to 50. It's something that I'm going to be working on and introducing to you guys, another funded account. This one will be a slightly different account. So you'll have the challenge account. You could have the Beeline account, and you could have a 5 to 50 account. They're all different funded accounts and just different. And then you can also, something that we're bringing to the table too, is that you can also get funded through trading leagues as well. So you have multiple different ways to have different funded accounts. They will all be slightly different. You can trade them all. You can trade one, but in my opinion, diversification is really key to managing risk. And so in this 5 to 50 account that I'm trying to formulate and trying to bring you guys, it's different. As you can already tell, there's a couple unique things about the 5 to 50 account. One is that your position sizes are a lot larger. And so we teach you how to become your own risk manager with these 5 to 50. The unique thing here is that you grow it to 50,000. So you start with a $5,000 account, you grow it to 50,000. You don't take any profits out of that until you reach 50,000. So yes, it's a live account, but you don't pull out any money until you hit 50,000. But you do have more bullets, right? and you trade that with me and this group every morning. So that'll be a different type of a funded account where it's really just you're growing it yourself. And then when you hit 50,000, then you start sharing the profits and all that fun stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that one. Then there's going to be leagues where it's going to be a demo account until you get to the top higher tier, and then we'll have a funded account specifically for leagues. And then obviously putting you guys on a funding call once you hit certain criteria in leagues where you're going to be offered to trade other people's money, not just our money. So we're excited to bring that to you guys next year as well. So these are a lot of things that are in the works that hopefully having them all ironed out by the end of the year and be able to start presenting not just idea stage, but just start presenting actual how to get involved next year. So Q1 is what we're looking to launch all of this stuff. So kind of some fun things happening for sure. You guys' comments.
They like do different strategies in different accounts, or
you can. I mean, that's one of the things with having multiple funded accounts or an apiary fund
swing or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to personally. I don't change the way I trade depending on the account that I trade, but that's something I know some people do. A lot of people will do that. This is my holding account. This is my scalping account, right? This is the account that I trade gold in or whatever, right?
Yeah. What makes you pick one versus the other for you?
For me,
if you have different accounts, how do you divide them up?
Well, personally, I have my account it's my own money that I trade, and I just try to grow that.
Yeah.
On this account, I'm trading this to get a feel for what's it going to take to take a $5,000 account to 50,000 to kind of learn that process and then trade it with you guys. So when we open that up to everybody has 5,000, I'll start at 5,000 with you guys and grow it to 50. So that's the purpose of this account, is to grow it. And then I have other funded accounts that I trade for apiary that I usually just am fine, just hit like 1% a day and I shut it down. And I'm not trying to grow those accounts. Those are like just making money, daily return off of those accounts. So, and I don't trade those during this time slot. So I don't have a whole lot of time that I can trade those. So I usually will have those up during the day on different monitors and then just make like 1% in that account. And then I'm good. Then my other account too. All right. I like this move right here. I'm going to smack into this take profit here. So now again, I need to make this my break-even situation or the top of that. Pull out. Who else trades multiple accounts? Sometimes it's very difficult to do that, but once you do, it really does diversify your risk for sure. Nobody trades multiple accounts? Oh, okay. Few of you guys.
Dave, I occasionally try to trade several accounts in apiary my funded account and one or two simulated accounts, but it's not real easy to do on Apiary. The time it takes to switch back and forth just drives me nutty. So generally, I don't do that.
Oh, gotcha. So you'd find it difficult to change, like switch out from like this account to that account. Does it take a while?
Yes.
Sometimes it's frozen.
I've not experienced that.
No. It shouldn't take more than like 5 seconds.
Yeah, just like that. I just switched back and forth between accounts.
I just did it now, yeah.
So it could be a computer, your computer issue. But again, that's something that right now, the quality of Alveo is largely impacted by the machine that you're running on. And so that's why I know that it's been a journey for Sean and his programmers to take Alveo web-based so that it's no longer, so that the speed is not, so that everybody has the same experience. Right. So it doesn't have an impact on your machines, right? Your local PCs.
Sometimes changing templates takes a little while, but changing one account to the next should take a few seconds at max.
Again, it is dependent upon the local user's PC. So if you're running Windows 98, it might take a little while.
Running Windows 11.
Still showing the Deutschmark. Doesn't even have the euro on it yet.
Exactly.
Like the French franc and the Deutschmark.
In the very, 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 very beginning days of when I started marketing for Apiary Fund, so we'd have some. I think every company has just people that you have those stories of clients or customers that you just like those customer service stories. And I don't know why, but we'd always have people who didn't even own computers that would sign up. And then they would complain that they can't trade. And then we'd tell them right out of the gate. And then we didn't think it was going to have to be a thing that we'd have to ask, well, in order to start trading, do you have a computer? So we had to actually add that into the script as we had have people explaining the program. And I was really surprised by the amount of no. And then people would say yes, that they did. But then they would say, yes, I have a computer. And they would think that the library was their computer. So they'd go to the library to trade. And then they would call us up at the library and say, this wasn't just one or two things. This happened all the time. They call us up in the library and say, I can't get Alveo to install my computer. And so we'd have to work with them. And then we finally figured out that they were trying to install it on a library computer. And obviously the library locked down install privileges. But this was something that was a common reoccurring thing, right? And so now we have to ask, okay, is the computer yours?
You say my computer.
Yes, do you have a computer? Is it your computer?
Do you have administration?
Are you allowed to stick a sticker on it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to change the background?
Right.
Well, Jeremy asked the question, how'd they sign up without a computer? Well, they were signing up on a phone call, right? And so the rep was signing them up. In the very beginning days when we were trying to figure out the process, right? This was like pre-Alveo, so this was MT4 days. So Sean used MT4 before Alveo. I don't know. Was anybody with us back then, pre-Alveo days? Anybody started trading with us back then?
No. Yeah.
Michael said yes, he was there. All right, so here we go. Get into this, and I think I'm going to this. Just kind of been a slow moving market here. So I think I'm going to flip back into just 2-pip take profits, because what's happening is it's giving me profit. Like if I would have hit it there, but I didn't. So it's only giving me one chance. This market, if I'm reading this market, it's only giving me like one chance, one pop up there, pop up there, pop up there. And I'm not able to take it because I'm thinking, okay, is this the turn of the price cycle? And so it gives me one chance, pops and goes down. So whenever I kind of see that in the market, I do like to go back to the take profit situation where I'm just hunting for 2 pips, because you're getting that on these wicks. And that's where the profit is happening today on the market. And, that's probably what I'm going to start doing, is just hunting for smaller take profits here and just start putting money in the bank instead of looking for larger runs. But being cognizant of this bottom drop too, could drop the bottom and you could get a little run. So I have 2 things happening in my head right now. I got a take profit for all of the trades that I had before already set up. So where this should be a break-even situation right here. And so I got that and compartmentalizing that setup, and with hunting for new, just 2 pips, like right there, 2 pips. So if it breaks this area right here, if it breaks this, then this comes into play. If it doesn't, then I'm going to trade. I'm going to put a couple cells on right here, just without take profits, just in case it does want to break and drop lower. So those are my throwaway trades, but 3 trades on there. If it does pop and hold this right here, then this trade technique, I don't know, trade number 1, I should say, is in play. Hopefully it is right now. I'm going back to managing this one while I'm still looking for pips. So if it doesn't cross over and fails to cross over, it means we're going to get another test of that low. But if it holds, all I needed to do is pop up to there to get me out of those. And it failed to hold. So because it failed to hold, now my cells are back into play. Now I'm flipping in my head to manage the selling position that I have. And that could all change depending on based on this line right here. Based on this line right here. If it holds above this line, my buys are in play. If it falls, then my sells are in play. So not necessarily hedging. It's just this is a plan, and then my sells are another plan. And so I'm trying to execute on two plans at the same time. And so if you're following along, I wanted to explain that because it could get kind of confusing, like what is he doing? And then just compartmentalizing the two plans in my head and try and take advantage of both plans. Waiting. If it falls across here, I'm going to get into a few buys for the test for this right here. Just like a build of that position for a test of it to come up to there. Then I'll put back into some cells. Pop out of my cells here. And looks like the action point installed. And now trying to find another profit on the buys. And then get out of these trades up here. How's everybody doing? checking in. Did you make it back, Cliff? You profitable now? Nick, awesome.
Not yet. If I put on 2 trades, I win. If I put on 6, I lose.
Hey, Dave. I've been taking a hit on my challenge account. And so when am I out of the challenge? When I hit 10%?
Yeah.
All right. I'm very close, but not there. So I may just be going baby steps, baby trades
to get it
until I can have some more room. But yeah, that downturn just kicked my butt.
Which is a good as was kind of the challenge today is going to be kind of not necessarily. So today's trading challenge is going to coincide with that. So I was thinking about that over the weekend. I think this is a good market. Is basically what do you do when how do you trade when you're so close to the line? You're walking the line, right? That's 5%, 10%. How do you trade? And so we'll get into that in here in a second, but I missed the opportunity. Should have got out. Not stall. We'll see if it wants to replay. Kind of give us a price cycle back up, but I'll explain. We'll go into that here in like 10 minutes, but today will be a good practice for you. So I'd definitely jump into a demo account and practice today's challenge. How do we walk the line? That's the name of the challenge. Walk the line. And we'll have that be our Johnny Cash themed song. I fell into the burning ring of fire. Now I got to walk the line. Exactly. The Johnny Cash challenge.
Johnny Cash, sure. I thought that was Kenny Rogers.
No. I fell into the burning ring of fire. My trades went down. And my losses got higher. Burn, that ring of fire.
Oh.
That's Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
So what level is it, Dave?
What level is what?
How do I walk the line?
Walk the line, it's a level 2. For sure. It's a fix your trade technique.
Okay.
Well, I had to hit the red button just because if I didn't, it was gonna hit my limit there, and I didn't want to hit it. I wanted to have at least a little bit of an option to bring it back up. So
right. So you definitely, number one rule is you definitely have to reduce your position size, right?
Correct.
When you're so close to the line.
Yeah.
All right. So here's another principle of this happens to me quite a bit. If it happens to me, it probably happens to you, where the market was trading up here, just kind of consolidating, going up and down, and then all of a sudden it decided, you know what, we're going to play down here. And so it never comes back and gets these trades, right? And so I'm looking for an area to just X out of these trades. I have chosen that this is my area, but it's not hitting this, right? And I don't want it to come down and break this and run before I get out of these trades. So what do you do, right? What do you do in a situation like this that's showing that it's not coming back and testing here, which, I thought it would, but now I got to get out of this because I don't want it to come down, break this without getting out of these guys. So how would you guys execute this right now? How would you guys look to take this off before it pops here?
I'll double my position size When it comes up to the top of this consolidation, then I'll get out of those on top.
Right here.
Yeah, when it comes up there, I'll get out to those on top.
So that's good. But on the 1 minute, we also have this little M that's forming that could do that, or it could be a W, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is I don't want it to be an M. I'm okay with it to be a W. So if it comes up and tests the top up here, I might hold it to see if we get a formation of that W, right?
Okay.
And see if we do get a pop. But I don't want it to turn into an M, which comes down here and pops this. So this candle right here, or this grouping right here, really tells a lot, right? It's really gonna have a lot of information in here as to what direction it's gonna go. If it fails to cross here, most likely it's going to be an M. So if it pops up and fells this, I may get into a few sells to capitalize on the rundown and make some profit. Either way, I'm gonna take off the take profit. And if it does do that, if it does cross here, then you have to make the decision whether or not you're going to take a max loss on these up here, depending on how far down it goes and how far it could drop or just pop out of those, right? But either way, we don't want to hold on to those trades up here. Now these trades down here, I can still fix even if it does pop, if it comes back. If it pops down, let's say it pops down here, there's a good chance of it coming and testing here. But I don't want to take those guys for that journey, right? So we'll see what happens here. So that's what's happening in my head right this second. What I'm thinking about is how I'm gonna get out of these guys.
So if it pops down below and takes a little spike down past the bottom there, what size? What would be your size, lot size?
I don't usually change my lot sizes when I'm in a trade. So when I'm in a trading, it's always the same. I just stack more on. But like I said, from my 4 is my standard. That I give myself 4 lots is what I allow myself to trade in this account size. So I'm about half that right now. So I'm right at my 50%. And so any trades that I take right now are high value opportunity trades or fixing trades. So that's what I'm looking for right now is either high value trade targets or fixing trades. So this candle has the information that I'm looking for. What are you going to do, candle? Are you going to cross and make this a W, or are you going to fail the cross and look for a retest of that low, right? And so this candle, even we had 10, 13, 12 seconds left. What you going to do, candle? Now, I don't really necessarily need it to hit my take profit, but I'm probably going to peel off if it pops above this and stalls, and we'll see if we can't get it to pop above that right there, and just kind of looking for that reset to 0. Another thing that I don't like is holding on to these trades for a long time. Like when I'm about 15 minutes in on holding a trade that's losing, I'm like, okay, you're done. I'm done. I'm done thinking about these trades up here. So I don't want to think about them anymore. So I really look for a opportunity just to close them out from more of a psychological standpoint, because they're weighing on my trading decisions now. And because they're impacting my future decisions, I want to just get rid of them and kill them off.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. All right. So it did pop above, and then all of a sudden that smacked it right back down. So it gave me hope, and it took it away.
So when would you start fibbing it?
Fibbing this? I don't think I would. fib this, or are you talking about fibbing? I'm not sure what you're fibbing. I don't really see a fib move here, really. Fibbing, whenever I fib something, it's got to be something like on a bigger expansion, like right here on the 5, where I'd fib something like that. Definitely fib this or fib this entire move right here.
That's the move that got me out this morning from the top there.
Down move. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3:30 this morning.
Right. So whenever I fib, I usually look for a larger move. I don't fib anything small like this. This is just trading right here. Just like I said when I came in, plan A was see if it does this bull. Plan B is if it comes down here and crosses.
So for you, right, we are in normal trading.
Yeah.
Normal wobbling right now.
Right. Except for what I said earlier is that, and this happens all the time, where it was in this box, now we're in this box. It's failing to get back up into this box. So I need to take these trades off inside of this box. That makes sense.
Yeah. For me, that's a step down.
Could be a step down for sure.
Market.
Yep. But what we don't want is it to cross this, because then it's not just a step down, it's a fall down. Right?
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, that's a great. Okay, here we go. We're gonna test the top. Come on. There we go. There's our pop that turn this into a W. And there we go. And that's the move that I was looking for. So, and all that, I came out profitable. Not as profitable as I would have liked, but still came out profitable on that and took some losses. But more importantly, I took back the power that the market had over me, right? Because I was concerned about those trades. I was concerned about the bottom dropping, had a lot of concerns on. So I'm like, all right, so I need to get that reset to zero. Now that I got that reset to zero, I can look at the market with fresh eyes, right? Now, what are you really doing, market? Come back and reanalyze. Go back to my 1, 2, 3s, my basics, right? Price cycle. What's my, price cycle bias and trend, right? Trend, price cycle bias, right? And back to the 1, 2, 3. So we got 4 price cycles. We got this. Kind of came all the way up. I don't really trust a singular move right now in this market because that's just not the behavior of the market. So I probably will sell into this thinking it's not going to jump up and touch the top before it has some price cycle action, right? But again, going back to the 2 pip take profit, because that's what today's market is, finding and hunting for little pips. And if I had started doing that from the jump, I wouldn't have been in that situation up here, but you don't know that. And so you just got to see what's the market today, right? What's today's market structure and what technique is the best one to deploy? Kind of talking about, having multiple funded accounts that you trade differently in. Well, I do that with the market. What's the market today? What's the proper technique to play the market? Is it a ride the wave market? No, it's not. Is it a wobble market? Absolutely. But it's also a wobble market, which if I had take profits on, I probably would have been a lot further ahead in making money because all these trades up here would have been profitable. However, you don't know that when you first jump in, or I don't. And so I kind of need to get a feel for the market, put a few trades on, go through a few iterations on what the market's doing before I start identifying for me what's the best way to play this particular market. And right there, I should have got out on the stall because it said, hey, I'm going to stall. And this would be a great place for you to get out and flip into some buys. And if it drops lower, I'd rather really want my take profit to be right there for 2 pips. Let's see here. There we go. All right, go back to the questions. If we have any. Like that Papa Den, time and trades is a real psychological quandary for sure. I do not. That's one thing that still I probably hits me the hardest. It's because I'm impatient, and so when I don't take profit on a trade or a layer stack and it sits there forever, I give it too much thought. I'm still working on it because I hate it. I don't like when it takes forever, and so I become impatient. And so that's still, for me, psychologically, I'm still kind of working on that. And it's because I know that the longer I sit on a trade, the more likelihood that I'm going to take a loss on it, right? And that's just me. I've done a 180 from the beginning trading days where I'm just like, it'll come back. I'm just going to walk away and wait and take, hours on hours and like, see, I was right. And it came back. And that's not the way to trade. But I used to do that all the time. Like when I find myself in a loss, I would hate taking losses. And so I would just stop trading and I'd stop trading. And I'd walk away from the trading, or I'd just go on in my day, and I'd come back and I'd be like, oh, see, I knew I was right. And that was probably the worst teacher of the market by, eventually coming back and taking my profit. I'd let it go like 20 pips against me for a 2-pip profit. And then I would say, yes, I was right. and then you'd wonder why you're not moving the needle, right? Why you can't. And those were the days where I was struggling to hit 1% returns, because I would be done trading because I'd probably be like maxing my positions or whatever. And so if you guys are stuck in that mindset, I can appreciate that, because I've had that mindset of not wanting to take a loss and let it run 10 to 20 pips against you for a 2-pip profit. One of my favorite parts about today's live session was the opportunity that we had to the market run against us a little bit, but still able to come back and recover for a little bit of profit. That technique, again, I use it all the time. So if you guys don't know that technique, master it. There's a challenge out there at how to win while losing. That is the challenge that you guys should be able to take. Again, we saw that today. There's very, very few really good trading days left of the year. So let's make sure that we capitalize on those trading days, and we will come back and trade together soon after the holidays are all over. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join our Discord, and then so that you're ready to go when we start trading again at the new year. So again, thank you guys and happy trading.